Welcome to Staveley. I'm on the northern throat of the old Staveley Great Central Railway station. Those pair of bridges just behind me here. Over the course of the summer I did a series on the lost railways of Chesterfield, and I promised that I would come back and carry on this story when we get into the more winter months, when the vegetation started to die off. So the reason I'm in Staveley is this was the start of the Chesterfield Loop, and that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. So this is a common spot for a lot of my previous videos, and this is an area that hopefully, it's pretty much nailed on, and the next few years is going to look a little different, because this is where the Chesterfield Canal, the next section of the Chesterfield Canal that's going to be restored, is going to dissect right through here. There's quite a lot of Chesterfield Canal workers this morning in their IVs, so it's no doubt a location you'll probably see on future videos as well. But anyway, we've not come to look at the Chesterfield Canal or this other disused railway that's underneath. We've come to have a look at the Chesterfield Loop, so we'll head back up through Staveley. What we're on at the moment through Staveley was the Great Central Railway mainline. Manchester, Sheffield, Nottingham, Leicester and London. We've done sections of that line up and down the country, haven't we? But in Staveley we had a little branch off the main line, the Great Central Railway, and it was called the Chesterfield Loop, and it literally left here, went through Chesterfield and joined the same Great Central main line just further south near Heath. It was opened in 1892, and back then it was opened by the Manchester, Sheffield and Lincolnshire Railway, which very quickly became the Great Central Railway. So this will complement nicely, I think it was part 1, episode 1 of that Lost Chesterfield Railway series from the summer. Chesterfield Central Station, Chesterfield Tunnel, this was all part of this Chesterfield Loop line. You won't find any remains whatsoever of that old Staveley station. The new relief road for Staveley has erased any chance of that. I did have a good scout about there when I did my duckmenting video a few years ago, just on that wasteland, but it's nothing railway on there now. As well as the 4-platform station, we had an engine shed, sidings, all kinds of junctions going off around the site of the station, and I refer to it as Staveley Central Station, but that's not what it was called for the majority of its working life. I don't think it actually carried that name until around the 1950s. It was known initially as Staveley Town Station. Now that's confusing because there was also a Staveley Town station just up the road on the old Midland line. The current day bridge over the old Staveley Central Station is new. It was slightly realigned a number of years ago. So here is the new, I'll call it a new road, it's been here a few years now. It was built on the alignment of the Great Central. And this is around here, the line's already started to diverge. Let's get over this road. So the line we're following today, the Chesterfield Loop, is arcing over to the right. Now, through Staveley, I have to say it's not very spectacular. There's nothing to show you really of the old railway line, but I'll show you the course that it once took through the town. It's now being built on, filled in, the bridges have gone, so I promise you there was nothing. I promise you there wasn't a lot to show you in Staveley, didn't I? So I'm stood right here where the bridge would have been, the line going underneath where we are now. I'm just behind the leisure centre in Staveley, if anybody knows it. Just been having a look around. There is a blue brick wall there, but that's far too new. No trace whatsoever. But the line's shot off straight through there. From what I can see from the old maps, it looks like it was in quite a cutting here. And if we look at the aerial views, we've got this green belt of land just slicing its way between the houses. And we're roughly, well, we are actually bang on the trajectory of the railway line, walking along this path. And this open space, I mean, it's more than an assumption. You can quite clearly see from the map that this was where the railway cut through. So this has been infilled. Looking back, would have gone under that road there. But I'm not complaining, but I wonder why they didn't. I wonder why they've left this little corridor like this. Was it marked as a restricted area for future use? Should the railways need it again? Anyone know? Because it's a little bit strange how it's been developed. New developments, houses, flats, leisure centre on that side, but nothing through this little green strip. Chesterfield Road in front here. I think it's Chesterfield Road, I could be wrong. So there was still a cut-in while we was walking here. We're on top of the infill, and that gap in front, just to the left of that white house, is where the railway once again would have shot underneath the road. Cross over here, cross over the busy road, and I'll show you where the railway shot off down there, down towards Staveley Works. We can't go down there. Got a bit of a detour now. I've got to make my way. I'm going to make my way down to the canal and walk round to Hollingwood, where we can pick up the next remains of the railway. I never think about the sun when I plan these things. Could have really done with doing this the other way around. I'm going to be pointing into the sun most of the day. We're on the Chesterfield Canal now, and this is Mill Green Bridge. Now there are some sections of this line that we're covering today that we can't walk down and we can't get access to, and luckily the Chesterfield Canal pretty much follows the course of our Chesterfield Loop into Chesterfield, so there's going to be a couple of sections that I can walk down the Chesterfield Canal. But what a lovely walk it is. As well as the Chesterfield Canal, another watercourse we're going to be seeing a lot of today is the river, rather, it's a bit of a tongue twister. We're at the weir here, just by Mill Green Bridge. This has all been underwater a couple of weeks ago, and you can see where the water level has been up to. And this is still relevant to our story, because all the land the other side of the river, all the way up where we're walking today, I'll show you some maps, but it was all part of the Staveley Works, the surrounding industry. And the amount of sidings coming over the other side of here from the various railway lines up here, I'll show you maps as we go along, but I keep referring to Staveley in terms of railway as spaghetti. It's scarcely believable the amount of railways that there were. And just over there is that white house. You probably can't see for the sun. I can't see for the sun. So the railway line on the side of the canal would have swept down the field here, because obviously it was in a cut-in up the top of the hill, wasn't it? So it swept its way down here, and it runs quite close to the canal just before it gets to what's now Hollingwood Hub and the Chesterfield Canal, or what was known as the Staveley Works railway station. More on that when we get up there, because for me, Staveley Works station, the disused station that's still there, is it's probably the highlight of the Chesterfield Loop for me. So although we're on the Chesterfield Canal, this little section's quite relevant to the railway. When the railways arrived in the 1890s, prior to that, the canal went straight on there, look. So it was a straight line through there. When the railways arrived, it was diverted down there to the current path that we know today through the Hollingwood Hub, Hollingwood Lock. So I just mentioned that this is the new, when I say new, it's what, 130 plus years old, this section. This was when the railway rerouted the canal, and you can see, look, you can see the railway influence here. Obviously railway built. And we're coming in now to the site of the Staveley Works station. You can hear me over the sound of the water. Katie's coffee shop at Hollingwood Lock. They do a cracking sausage and caramelised honey and toasty. Here you go, Jim. This one's for you. So Staveley Works, old railway station. This is the car park for the Hollingwood hub, where I just had a lovely toasty. The track bed is coming from over there. If I swing you around and take you up this banking, the platforms were on top of the bridge. There was, obviously, you can see, there's the other side of the bridge over there, and the platforms went straight across the top of the canal here. I should probably show you, there's the canal down there, up there's the towpath. I'm going to go down there and have a look in a moment. I just wanted to show you up here first. So you'll see when we get down there what we're stood on top of here. And you can see the recess where the running lines, because the bridge was skewed, where the running lines cut straight across, look. And then that's the end of the platform. On the other side I can just make out through the trees. So here we are on the towpath, about to go underneath the old station. I'm gonna curse that sun so many times today. So here's the blue brick walls, platform straight above our head there. I don't know what year the bridge was removed. Look, there's kind of fitting there, cable holder possibly, got a pipe. Now, is that waste pipe or is it just drainage? It's the just on the opposite platform, the Chesterfield bound platform, CCTV camera there as well. Just take you to the end. We're going to go up there and have a look around some of the remains of the old platforms. It's a retaining wall on the back of the Chesterfield bound platform. Yeah, I'm really struggling with the sun. The date stone on the end, I'm struggling to get a decent shot, but I have got some other photos to show you with that. Don't forget, cast your minds back to the Chesterfield Tunnel on that part 1 of this series, and that's where that stone is from, if you remember that story. They recovered it and installed it when they rebuilt the abutment. So let's go and have a look. It's a track level, platform level. Now people do ask me quite frequently, how do you get up? I've shared plenty of photos of this station over the years. How do you get up to it? It's really easy. Well, it is when it's not muddy. Really easy to get up to the platforms. It's just this little path up off the side of the towpath. Even I can find it, and we're here. We're actually about to come onto the station. So if I just bring you through these trees, get tangled up, and you'll see, look, straight in front is some of the platforms. Blue brick, red brick there as well. There's quite a lot of remains of this station. Now, years go by, so that's looking onto the platforms. Years go by, and even since the years that I've been popping in, I struggle passing without popping my head in, to be honest. It's getting more and more overgrown. There's photos from not too long ago when it was relatively clear in comparison to what it is today. So that's the platform looking back in the Staveley direction. Again, last time today, I'm going to apologise for the sun. This is what it is. You know, we're filming outdoors in early winter, and there's the Chesterfield bound platform. One of the most intriguing things I find about this station is what's just over here. Now, there we go. See this steel arch here? That's the top of the subway that went underneath. And until not too long ago, I'm talking 20 years ago, maybe even less, the subway was you were able to walk through it. They filled it in somehow, I don't know to what extent. So yeah, this was the subway under the platforms, and if you see the old photos, it was a decent sized station. Only 2 platforms, but look, that's the subway going underneath 2 tracks, platform at the other side, and there's the top of the subway on the Chesterfield bound platform. Isn't that remarkable? I mean, there's other things here. There's bits of stonework, slabs that have been displaced, but look at that view looking between the 2 platforms. You know, breathe this in now, because who knows what redevelopment will happen in places like this. It changes so much from year to year. You know, this has been documented now, but how long will it be in an accessible state like this? We've got these big pieces, what I assume are off the bridge. Mr. Eggleston's one of your Morrison's trolleys here if you want to come and get it. I think the pound's been taken out though, unfortunately. So yeah, it's quite a lot of platforms left on the station site. Various stages of decay. If you look at the old photographs and the old maps, you'll see that like I said, the platforms crossed over the bridge that's now missing over the canal. Just take you onto here. Don't get too close to the edge. You can see right down there onto the towpath. Look, there's Madeline again. Yes, it is Chesterfield, stood on top of the Chesterfield bound platform, and there's that retaining wall we were looking at from the underneath. Let's see if we can get round to the other platform. Yeah, this is it. This is the platform then. Start looking over the edge. So this is what we were looking at. That's where we were standing over the other side. Look, you can see that bit that was hanging over the side of the platform. Great view from up here, isn't it? I'm assuming that was a wall of some description. And a lot of this, to be honest, has been rejigged around. They've put the power lines through at some stage. But yeah, Staveley Works complex, all in that direction. And if you look at the drone footage that I've just been taken, the scale of that place, and compare it to those old maps, that's a bunch of spaghetti I keep referring to around Staveley. It is mind-boggling. And this is it. This is today. Okay, we'll carry on trying to follow from here. Trying to follow as much as possible. A lot of it's been infilled, but we'll try to follow as much as we can of the old Chesterfield Loop, excuse me. Presence of silver birch trees, young silver birch trees. All this, let's look at this old map here. We had sidings aplenty. Yeah, all related to the works, Staveley Works. And obviously, just there, literally half a mile away, is Barrow Hill, the Barrow Hill Roundhouse, which again, all related to Staveley Works, all related to this vast expanse of former industry. So since the Staveley Works station, I've been following this track that runs parallel to the Chesterfield Canal. Very tough going, bit muddy, not too bad, and you're figuring to think that it's on the old alignment of the track, but we get to this bridge, it confirms that's not the case. Very poor state of repair. Just bring you over here, and this also confirms that the track bed must have been at a lower level in a cutting under here, because we're level, we're stood in front of this bridge as close as I can physically get. It's sausage toasty repeating on me there, to apologise. And yeah, we're level with the top of the bridge. It's in a very poor state. There's Chesterfield Canal, I think there's blue banks, pools just down the bottom there. Should just mention actually, before I disappear, we're at that bridge, just the other way down that track. We've got the Midland line coming in now, Barrow Hill, Beeching, Junction, the Midland Old Road. The old site of the old Whittington station, just a short way down there. So we've got a stretch of footpath now that's an alternative for cyclists rather than using a tight twisty part of the Chesterfield Canal. And this is our, I suppose it's the first opportunity since Staveley to walk on the alignment of the old railway line. Interesting section this, because I'll show you on the drone footage. We've got the Chesterfield Canal just there, and we had the Great Central Railway just there. Just below us here is the River Rother, and then just the other side of the River Rother, I've been hearing the trains thundering past while I've been walking down, is the Midland Railway, the Midland Old Road. But there's the Midland Old Road right next to us here, look. You see, just on the top of that embankment there, I've been hearing trains thundering past, out of sight, while I've been walking up the last half an hour or so. There must have been 6 trains gone past in either direction. Still on that little section you can walk on at the moment. But we have got another station coming up in a very short while, and that's the station of Brimington. Getting ahead of myself a bit there, we're not quite at Brimington yet, but we have got this nice old bridge. Same kind of condition, isn't it? But it's good to see that there are bridges still around. Next stone is that? Where's that fallen from? That's fallen off the top there, hasn't it? Capping stone from, and that one's missing. In fact, that one there, they've been both pushed over the side, haven't they? That bridge marks the end of that section we've been able to walk down. Not spectacular, I know, not really anything to find down there, but it's the first time we've walked down anything that feels like a disused railway. Got a bridge identifier there. It says I/RA/9. It's the same, exactly the same design bridge, isn't it, of that one we saw further down the line. A little short section on the canal. This is Station Road in Brimington. Station straight in front. I don't think there's any, in fact I know there's nothing left of the station. It's an old, looks like an old railway house there. The old yard that's now in the site of the station is called Old Station Yard. And these are just on the approach to the station, just here. That's why we've not been able to walk down the line for that last little section. Look, that doesn't exist. Look at the size of those trees. Get in the traffic. I'm just going to run over the road just to yeah, have a look down there. Yeah, look. So completely erased, isn't it there? See any remains of any station buildings or leftovers in that yard. And this little area here was known as Brimington Wharf, sorry, as per the sign. And there was a siding just the other side of of this wall is now, and what I can see on the maps, some cattle pens, cattle docks right next to the canal towpath. So I'm still on the Chesterfield Canal just south of Brimington, and the track bed has just been running alongside of us. Not really been a lot to see, but I've just noticed through the trees I can see a little culvert, look, little blue brick culvert. I'll zoom in with a photo, it's probably easier. We've got two bridges coming up on the Chesterfield Canal. We're going under the Barrow line that's been running alongside of us for the last few miles, and we've also got the Sheffield Chesterfield line. That viaduct you can see there, that's the River Rother going underneath, the first of those lines. Great Central line we've been following is cutting somewhere just in front of us here across this field. It's disappeared. I can't even see any bridge. The trees are that thick. It would be somewhere in here. I really cannot see any visible signs of a bridge in there. But come out of the other side, there's a blue brick abutment there. And now this other bridge over the canal seems to date a lot earlier, a lot older design. Is that part of the Great Central Bridge? I bet it is. It looks like it's side by side here. And then I don't quite know what's going off on this one. There's no bridge on this one either. Yeah, if the maps are correct, they intersect it. I think the bridges must have been removed. They've obviously made some improvements to these two main railway lines. Because look, we've got another. Look, you see how it's different? This is the canal abutment. Look, another blue bridge, a blue brick abutment there. Look, and then yeah, another one at the top. Sorry, didn't see that. So I think the bridges have been removed. Let's go around the other side of this bridge and see if there is anything there. Well, that's interesting. Exactly the same on this bridge. Look, that blue brick bridge abutment. And you can see a blue brick parapet or something like that, just the other side of all that ballast. I think those bridges have been infilled 100%. And here's the track bed again, appearing not as a track bed, but just the course, the alignment. Swing your back, and there we go. That's where I've just been saying it would have shot underneath that bridge there. The Great Central Railway, our Chesterfield Loop, curves through this green space here. There are a couple of interesting photographs that I'll see if I can share with you, and there's a couple of lines going off over there to various collieries, sheep bridge, wagon works, etc. Quite a lot of old lines that no longer exist around here. This was probably a good place for you to go back and watch part one of this series, and I'll pick it up at the other side of Chesterfield. So as always, cheers for your support, take care, see you soon.